Ladies and gentlemen, hope all is well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a client horror story. So a lot of people in the space, in the online space, will not talk about their failures. Why won't they talk about their failures? Because they're trying to be this status framed individual with all these fucking cool cars, this cool lifestyle, showing the wins, but they don't actually show the losses. And honestly, from my point of view, I think that allows people to connect with who they're watching even more. So in this video, I'm going to talk about one crazy fucking story. This is not like some, oh, I didn't get good results for my client and that happened. It's like something a little bit more extreme happened, which I'm going to share with you guys right here. Let's jump into it. So I had this client who was a gym owner. And for those of you that don't know, I work with specifically personal training studios, gym owners, people along the lines of that. This guy opened up a gym near my house. It was very close to my house. It was like a 5-10 minute walk from my house, 2-minute drive type of thing. And me and my buddy started going there. So we were like, hey, this gym's really close. Let's start going there. It was like a private gym. They had some equipment, it's not too expensive, $30 a month. So we start going there. And the more we start going there, we start talking with the owner. And the owner, he's this cool guy, very, very nice guy. If he's watching this, great guy. It was him and his partner, and they own the gym, and it's kind of their first gym that they opened in a while. So they had this gym, they were doing okay, they just recently opened, and they were trying to get clients. So me, who, helps gyms get clients, I talked to him, I was like, hey, I'm in the space, let's set up a time to chat, I can walk you through my systems, show you what we do, etc. So me and this guy get on like 4 or 5 different meetings. I remember it was a very long sales process. I wasn't really trying to pitch him. I was just trying to really understand what he was about, see if I can help him in the first place, rapport or whatever. End of the 5th sales call, close him, cash collect, sign him as a client. Pretty much with my system is what the system does is that I do is I get these leads and then I book these leads into their database to show up for a class or some sort of appointment or something like that. So I remember the first 3 that I booked for him didn't show up, right? And this is pretty rare. Like, sure, our show up rates maybe like 75% in total, but to get 3 back-to-back that don't show up, that were the first 3, were a little bit odd. So the first 3 didn't show up. So then he quickly points to me and he's like, hey, these leads are fake. You put these leads in. These leads are just, not even people. They don't even exist, etc. Right? So he got really mad at me off the first 3. And usually every month we'll book like 30. So off the first 3, he got mad, right? What could I have done here differently? Not much. I just said, hey, the leads are going to get better. Just have patience. But he got very emotional, whatever. And he got mad at me. And then we stopped working together, right? And right before we stopped working together, I was waiting to do some final different thing for him, because when you run ads, pretty much what happens is you have to run ads and then you get clients, etc. But a lot of people, they see the ad and then they just look you up on Google. And he didn't have any Google presence. Like he didn't have any website. He didn't have any Google profile, like Google My Business. He had none of that. So I said, hey, listen, we've been running ads for like a week. The website is almost done, right? Let's just give you the website and then that's it. And then that's going to allow people to find you organically via Google. But this guy, right, was mad at me because the first 3 didn't show up. So what he did is he said, no, F off. He got mad, right? And I told him, I said, listen, I remember this text exactly. This was the turning point. I said, if it's not me that builds you the website, and if it's not me that puts together this Google My Business and this basic stuff, then make sure it's someone else, but make sure you get it done, or else the gym is not going to go through. The gym is going to fucking fail. I told this guy this, right? He dismissed me, didn't even respond. Whatever, leave me alone. Leave me alone. 2 months later, I drive by the gym. there's a opening soon sign for a furniture store. So the gym is fucking closed. I'm like, wow, the gym went under. Holy shit. What the fuck? That's kind of weird. At the moment, I felt honestly, I felt a little happy. I was like, oh, wow, okay, that validates my ego because he didn't listen to me and the gym went under. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, that is kind of sad because this guy, really tried to make this work. He, put his money into this, his personal money, but he just didn't have the right strategy to go about it. And that's totally fine. But the more I thought about it, the worse I kind of felt. I was like, fuck, that's kind of sad, right? That could happen to anyone. And then pretty much, I started going to this other gym. It's another gym kind of in the area of where I live. And I start going, it's a nice gym, whatever. And then I see that he has a job at this gym. He got a job as a salesperson at this gym. So he closed his gym down. Now he's working at the gym that I'm attending, right? And this made me feel even more sad. This was like, wow, this guy had a dream and that dream didn't go through. And that's the reality of entrepreneurship, right? So that is the story of one of the biggest client kind of like stories that I've had that have been a major eye opener for me, right? That one interaction of me telling him, hey, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. Your business is going to fail. And it actually failing. That was like, it made me feel kind of good in the moment. But the more I thought about it, I was like, wow, this is actually kind of sad. It didn't go through, right? So the biggest takeaway that I got is you don't know what you don't know. And ego is horrible in this sense. This guy came in with an ego. He had his own gyms before. He, has been working out forever. He thought he knew how everything worked and how to make a lot of money, but he clearly didn't. Because if he didn't, or if he knew everything, then his business, his gym would have flourished, right? So ego is horrible. If you come in with an ego to any program, you're never going to get success within that. You have to drop the ego, tell yourself that you don't know anything, and allow yourself to then learn everything that's going to help you get to that point, right? So he came in with a massive ego, right? And honestly, from my point of view, there could have been certain things that I could have done as well. Set expectations better. Say, hey, this is exactly what's going to happen. This is exactly what's going to happen. Allow it to happen. See it through before getting emotional, right? But controlling your emotions is everything, especially when you're working with a company. Sometimes there may be like amazing stuff that happens with the company. Wow, they made me 30 grand this month. Other times, oh, they only made me 2 grand this month. These guys fucking suck. Sometimes you have to be able to control your emotions and just see things from an objective point of view outside of that, oh, I'm so mad at this person, right? So those are the biggest takeaways that I got. And it's sad because as entrepreneurs, there's failures that happen all the time, but you can mitigate yourself against failure by just knowing the right shit. People just don't know shit, right? So it goes to say, people say, oh, you shouldn't read books. Oh, you shouldn't, take courses. Courses are a waste of time. Action, action, action. Yes, action's good. But you have to learn. You have to know what to fucking do. You have to know which direction to kind of go in, or else you're going to be, excuse me, or else you're going to be toast, right? So if this guy, for example, knew what to do, he had the knowledge sets, the data sets to make the right call, to make the right decisions, to do the right things, to set the things up correctly, then he would still be here, right? So this just goes to show that knowledge is everything and the skills you have are everything. So work on skills, even though it may not be urgent to learn those skills, drop the ego and take in stuff that you just don't know, because you don't know what you don't know. So that's the video. I don't want to keep it too long, but that was a client story that I thought I would share with you guys and the lessons I got from that.